So hi guys, welcome back to another episode of the technical breakdowns. So today is on Friday. On Friday we normally do the recaps. I think looking at recaps from a fundamental perspective, one is at least the Feds still expect 50 basis points. That's according to Jerome Powell. The risks of a recession in the US get so high, and we can see already markets are pricing in a likely recession, because if you look at stocks have sold off significantly for the last a couple of weeks. I think the Dow is now trading at 31,500, coming back from around 36,500, where was the top. So we've seen about a 13-14% drop on that and many other indexes. I don't think markets are still pricing in a move to the upside. We don't see any positive news yet. So we may have some pullbacks, yes, coming back into the markets. Volatility is quite heightened. We're now trading at 28.5 on the VIX, coming down from about 15-14 on normal occasions. We're now at 28.29. Germany finally announced that they are now no longer going to import oil from Russia. We still don't know the impact of that on the economy. We're still waiting on the ECB to announce their tightening. So they're also planning to hike rates from their zero. I think they're actually on negative territory to take it back higher. So we'll watch that also. Inflation still remains quite high, 8 points. That's their number in the US. The reason we are seeing aggressive rate hikes is to bring back at least the inflation back to a level where it's manageable. In Kenya currently we have oil or fuel is currently at 150, hiking by another 5 shillings over the last, I think, 2 or 3 weeks. I'm not really sure if they did. So that's what I'm going to be talking about. So today I won't do much of a breakdown. I'm just going to recap how markets have traded, what that means for the following week. But again, on Monday I'll be here to share with you guys what to expect on Monday and how things are likely to be moving. So I'll now move down to the screen to share with you guys what's going on the screen. I'll just look at the markets that I normally trade. So looking at gold, you can see I'll start off with gold. Gold coming back, it's traded as low as 1800. If you watch my technical breakdown on Monday, I was talking about 1800. Markets likely to find some support at that level. At the time of the analysis, the market was just trading around the level. We found some support, rallied all the way to 1830, which was the level I was looking for. Had some slight fake out to the downside, and then officially we got a move back to 1850. What do I think of gold? Ultimately, I think on the daily chart, there's a very high chance. We've just started a tiny pullback or a major pullback. We've seen 2 legs to the downside. So we had the first leg, a pullback. We've seen the second leg. Now I'm looking for a correction back to 1900. I think there's a high chance markets will tap into 1900. In the extreme cases, probably we'll see 1920s. But that's the level I'm looking for. I still think there's some upside. Next week, I'll be looking to buy upon a correction to 18 something. I don't think this is a trade for this week. But next week, if we get a correction to 1837, 1825, I'll be looking forward for a buy position, expecting markets to rally all the way to about 1875. And probably even 1900, which is the major upside level I'll be looking for. So that's my outlook on gold. At least this week we were intact, we were in line with what markets did. Oil had a soft landing after tapping into 115. I talked about 115 being tapped. At the time of the analysis, the market was trading at about 108.7. I talked about 115, 120. You could also see a recap of that on my daily breakdown. I did that on Monday. We tapped into 115, had a slight sell-off all the way back to 105. I still expect oil to trade this high, but I don't think the trend will still remain that intact. Instead, what I think will happen is we'll have some sideways movement. Markets will remain elevated, but in a sideways manner. Maybe we'll see 120 being tapped into, but I don't think we'll see very aggressive moves to the upside. Neither will we see aggressive moves to the downside. I think what we're likely to see is some sideways movement before we get some good fundamental picture of what is happening between Russia and Ukraine, what is likely to happen to supply from the OPEC, what is likely to happen to Europe, because they are the ones who are likely to struggle the most in the event of a Russia split out. So oil still remains quite elevated, 109. Probably right now we'll see a move to 120, a rejection, a move back to 110. That's where I think markets will be trading really. So you really have to be smart around how you take positions here. Probably we'll see a correction back to 102, 102.5, but in the meantime, I think 100, 115, 120, 105, 110, those are the levels you should be watching. I don't think we'll see any price below 100, and if we start seeing that, then I think that will be a very good signal that things are changing to the downside. For stocks, this is the Dow. We saw the Dow sell off to 31,000. I was looking for this third bounce at 32,500, 32,750, 33,000 zone. We saw a sell off from 32.5. We went down all the way to about 31,000. We rejected the level, and now we've been moving higher. So probably we'll see a move back to 32,000. Who knows? Once we get to 32,000, we could see another sell off. But again, we could also get an aggressive move to the upside, probably to 33,000, 33,500. In the extreme cases, we could even visit 34,000 before the next leg of bearish momentum, which I expect to find support at 30,000 level. I still think there's some downside to 30,000 level. That's the level that I'm really paying attention to. Next, I look at Gbp Usd. So the pound has gained some ground. The dollar sold off a bit this week. So the pound was trading at 1.225 on Monday. We found a good close above the level, and you can see some pullback bringing in the markets to 1.25. If this momentum continues, we could see 1.275. In the extreme cases, I think we could tap into 1.3 level. Just a minor pullback before the trend continues to the downside. I think there's a high chance these markets will just keep on selling off. But as much as we have sell-offs, we normally have pullbacks in the direction, in the opposing direction of the trend. So this is just a counter trend to the upside. I think we will see 1.2625, probably 1.275 before the next leg to the downside. Looking at Euro Yen, so the Yen has started getting some soft landing as the dollar has been getting weaker. The Yen has started gaining some strength, some little strength, not so much, but the Yen, last week we saw some sell-off, and then this week we saw a pullback and a sell-off again. But currently we are trading at 135.66 on Euro Yen. What do I think? I think there's a high chance we'll come back again to 136.75, 137.5 maybe, and then you'll see a sell-off to the downside. As long as we're trading below 137.5, I'll still remain short, looking for these markets to go back to the 130 level. Finally, I look at the dollar. So the dollar has been quite aggressive, moving quite high. We've tapped into 104.5, 105, and now we've started seeing a sell-off. So 102.87. We could see 102, we could see the markets tap into 101.8, 102. We could see the markets come back to 101, and then we could see a move higher to 105.5, probably 106, and then all the way to 108, 109. So that's what we're likely to see. On the 4-hour time frame, however, we still have some downside. So not much of a pattern here, just I think if you're trading this, you'd want to be on the right side of momentum as the correction is going on, before you jump on the other side of momentum, which is to the upside, and capitalize on that move. Moving on, I can just give you a brief recap on cryptos. I don't trade cryptos on a week-to-week basis or a day-to-day basis, but I look at them and I also like holding them in my wallet. Currently, I'm not holding any coin, but I'm looking to buy some coins now that we've gotten some bargains. Looking at Bitcoin, we found support at 30,000 level. I think for the whole of this week, that's what you've done, nothing much, just trading around the 30,000 level. What do I think? For the short term, we could see a pullback to 40,000. For the long term, I'm looking for this market to trade as low as 20,000, probably even 10,000. On Ripple, we're currently trading at 0.43. So markets are likely to find support at this level. We could also see some minor pullbacks. I think on a broad basis, if you look at markets on a broad context, I think we're likely to see some strong moves to the upside or some pullbacks to the upside before we get a move to the downside. Ethereum also trading at 2,000, finding support there. Solana also finding support at $50. So we're likely also to see some pullback, probably to 90, 100 before the next sell-off. So that's my outlook on the markets. I think I've shared with you broadly what I have, the analysis that I can share with you. On Monday, again, I'll be back here sharing with you insights on the market. This was just a review. So during the weekend, we normally sit down, do an in-depth breakdown of what we expect to happen for the following week, and then we'll share it with you guys on Monday. So that's it from me. I'll see you guys, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. On Monday, we also have an upcoming event. Lawi will be taking guys through risk management. So many people tend to blow their accounts because of poor risk management. Lawi will tackle that on Monday, and we hope to see you guys on that. So see you guys, catch you guys in the next one. Peace.